A lot of women's absolute worst nightmare is the day when men wake up and realize their worth. Quiet quitting was a term that was trending a while ago, where underpaid and undervalued employees started cutting corners and putting in the absolute bare minimum effort into their jobs, working just enough to retain their position. And I couldn't help but notice a parallel to that in the dating society today. Men are at a point where they've become disillusioned with a lot of women because the veil has been lifted.
Yeah, the bare minimum is what's necessary in this time and age of dating, in this culture that we live in, this cesspool of filth. It's all that they're worth, most of them. You can't even hardly walk down the street in the modern city or modern society and look at a woman and say, yeah, that's a wife material possibility right there. Can't even look at that right now. You can't even see that anymore. But now they're just strictly recreational use. That's all that they're used for. Pump and dump, smash and dash. Have a good day, ma'am. Thank you.
Men are now checking out of relationships that no longer serve as assets to their life, but rather liabilities. Men are seeing the lack of gratitude and minimal to no reciprocity they encounter on a consistent basis from the other side. Unfortunately, we've built a society where men hear terms like toxic masculinity and patriarchal oppression constantly thrown around in public discourse, while they sacrifice a dead-end jobs trying to put food on the table and provide for their families. Men are tired of being gaslit and shamed for their masculinity and nature, and it's making them revolt against the same system that's holding them to unrealistic expectations.
Do me a solid by hitting the subscribe button. If it's your first time here, I'd appreciate it. Small channel trying to grow. That way the algorithm will take me to a broader audience, also because it helps the algorithm. Anyway, going on what she was saying, yeah, it's a problem being a real man in this modern society, because when you express your masculinity, it's toxic all of a sudden, because the women want both the feminine side and the masculine side, albeit when they feel like whichever side benefit them at the time or in that second or in that moment. That's what it is. And it's all about the world. They want to wipe out the man, but just be accessible when we need the masculine physicality of the man. Well, albeit whether it be sex or to lift something heavy or to do all the dangerous jobs. That's what a man for them has become. But now we checking out. Grab your passport, gentlemen, and enjoy your flight. I keep telling y'all that.
You see the complementary balance of the gender shifting way too far, and they're tired of being the main ones holding up their end of the bargain. A lot of women have fallen into the trap of measuring men by impossible standards because their expectations have ballooned from the constant revolving door of Hollywood and free social media validation. Men are struggling to keep up, and they're sick and tired of having to prove themselves over and over and over again just to ensure the love and the loyalty of their woman. A lot of it can be traced back to the proliferation of dating apps, which have hollowed out human relations and virtualized the dating marketplace. This, combined with a welfare state that can act as a safety net for repeated bad decisions and a lack of accountability, has incentivized promiscuity while simultaneously breaking down and demonizing traditional gender roles at the expense of long-term synergistic and wholesome relationships between men and women. Masculine men are the guarding walls of our society, and they've done an outstanding job holding it together, even though they've been continuously shamed and ridiculed for the very qualities that make them men. In turn, they ask for recognition for their efforts, yet society has failed to do justice to their sacrifice and perseverance in the face of all their adversities.
And that is the main reason why the modern woman, or the modern day woman, will cease to exist eventually, and it'll be pretty much a self-annihilation. It's pretty much going to be self-destruction, self-mutilation. That's what it's going to be. But again, it's their decision. They're so delusional. Their delusion is so crazy that it's like a coma that they're in. And sometimes I just sit back and like, yo, are we in reality? I mean, this got to be the Matrix. The way these broads highly likely think that they're 10 and above, and you can't tell them like, yo, chick, you a 1. You may be a 2 with makeup on. You can't tell them that because they, some way, somehow, a fat chick is majestic. She's 500 pounds and she's majestic.
A lot of women don't want the truth. They want comfort. They'd rather you lie to them for years than to tell them the truth quick. A girl is viral right now because she was dating a dude for 2 months. He came to her after 2 months and told her he didn't see no future with her, and he broke up with her. Instead of accepting it and moving on and being happy that only 2 months was lost, she mad. She upset. But why not just be glad that he didn't waste your time for more than 2 months pretending like he liked you and pretending like there would be a future when it really wouldn't be? But women are more comfortable with the lies and somebody leading them on for years and years instead of somebody being upfront and telling them the truth.
You got to understand one thing. It's easier for them to accept a lie rather than the truth. Because with a lie, you can live in la-la land and live in denial. And it'll make you feel good. Because when they're in denial like that, they don't feel reality. They're in a fantasy. But now, when they deal with the truth, then now they got to put in the effort. They got to put in the work. And they got to conform and transform. But they're not willing to do that because that is too much work for them. They don't want to do that. They don't want to put in the effort. They're lazy. I mean, modern day women are truly lazy. So instead, they accept the lie, and it's easier for them to deal with it.
One thing I don't think a lot of y'all women really want to face the fact is that you can't accept the truth. If men truly told you the reason why they ghost you, why they change their mind about you, you can't accept it. Therefore, most men avoid the conversation with you. This why y'all have these conversations online and you can't figure out why the man is hot and cold. You can't figure out why you was minding your business and then he bothered you. You can't understand why if he didn't like you, why he didn't leave you alone. Because the truth of the matter is, he might have did like you, but he changed his mind. I don't know how is it so hard for women to understand that men are allowed to change their mind. The same way you be getting icks about men get icks about you too. And like I said, I really don't think a lot of y'all can handle the truth on those icks that be turning men off. It's kind of in your best interest to take the L and let it go because I don't think you want to know what it truly was.
They quick to call men certain names, like if they turn them down, suddenly the man is automatically gay, or do he like men and stuff like that. They take shots at the man. But they want to tell us, you're dead, you're broke, you're a ninja, you're this, you're too short, you ain't 6 inches, and whatever. But let us take a little shot at them by telling the true reason why we can't be around them, because they nag, or they're not clean, personal hygiene ain't on point. They don't wash themselves properly. You can smell a little funk. Men, we're outside being dirty most of the time. A woman, if a woman stink, that's like the worst of the worst. Cause y'all, that thing will smell like straight up fish on a stick.
Why do you keep turning my seat warmer off?
Why do you keep turning it on? That's a seat warmer. It warms the seat.
Okay.
Okay, well, you should not put a seat warmer on. And what we're not going to do is fry fish up in this motherfucker.
Damn. But you got these chicks, they don't even bathe like that. They don't even wash their drawers, bruh. Let alone they barely brush their teeth at that. They think like a man in all sense of the word. Not only trying to get the bag, acting masculine and all that. Now even the personal hygiene is just like a man to most of these chicks. I saw a thing the other day that said, man, if there was a K9, the K9 sniff on some of these sundresses, boy, he put his 2 weeks notice in, because some of these cats or these box underneath these sundresses straight stank. I met you when you were slim and fit or whatever, and now you're like 300 pounds. Nah, you're a fullback, and y'all think y'all worthy of being married? Man,